some players lobbied to have the practice outdoors at the stadium today, and they got their wish. It was a hot one, even by New Orleans standards. How beneficial?
It's good to get them out there and push through and heck, they feel like that's what we need to do. That's what we'll do. I love going down there to the Dome or out of Saints facility because we always get a great practice. But we had those 3 days, full days off. And I think the guys are smart. Let's get acclimated back to the weather.
You're going to be officially into game week preparation starting Monday. Just assess. You've talked about it a lot, but it seems like August and early September went pretty well for you guys.
Yeah, I think it did. We've done a good job. Just every day you got to be conscientious about COVID and doing things right. And right now we feel very, very good about where we're at, but we're 7 days away. So we must be, consistent with our approach to all these different rules and regulations with mask and social distancing and all that stuff, because it can go to crap in a hurry. We looked around the country and there's teams having to cancel games, and we certainly don't want to be one of those teams. So we're just staying on top of it, and I can't emphasize that enough to the guys. I know it's different. That's the way of the world. I mean, and as I've said many times before, and it was interesting. I listened to a podcast the other day from Andrew Allegretto with Gene Forte and his son Matt. And Matt talked an awful lot about that year with Katrina. He was part of that football team. Now that was tough. They were all over the place. They lived in a condemned dorm. They hardly had any money to eat on. I mean, that was a booger. So we can get through this.
Looks like there's a really good chance Josh Rimitich will be starting for you. I guess Corey Dublin did it, but it's pretty rare for a freshman to start in his first game. How impressed have you been with him?
He's done an excellent job. He's very competitive. He's got excellent feet. He's got a very good physicality. That's probably the part that he is, acclimated to the quickest out of all the freshman linemen is coming and being able to practice hard and physical. Sometimes that takes a year or two. Most of the time those guys are bigger and stronger than everybody else that they play against in high school. But he certainly does a good job of playing physical, and he's got an opportunity to start, a week from today. There's a lot of competition for that right guard, right tackle spot right now.
The line's done some good things under your tenure, but I don't think it's ever been quite where you wanted it to be. Do you feel like it's closer now to where you would want your line to be?
Much closer. We'll find out this year, but number one, they looked the part. In the past, we just have had difficulties sizing up physically, strength, movement, height, length, all those different things. So I'm excited to see what these guys can do. We got some depth. We were able to roll a bunch of guys in there. One of the things we talked about early in camp was rotating guys at all different positions because of the what ifs, number one, with injuries, and number two, with this the COVID policies we got to follow. So we don't want it to be the first time the day before a game the guy's ever played left tackle. All he's ever been doing is right tackle. So we've been moving guys around. We've had a lot of moving parts, and coaches probably get sick of listening to me say it, but they're doing it, and that's good.
I know you can't talk about specific players in quarantine, but what is the policy if a player is in quarantine? Does he have to miss 2 weeks, or is there not? How does that whole protocol work?
Yeah, if a guy tests positive, he's got 10 days, and if he's involved in contact tracing with the guy who tested positive, he's got 14 days. Okay. Right, so they've got to stay away. We're dealing right now. There's really not a really low possibility of a false negative. That's about 99.9% certain when you test negative that you're negative. But there are some false positives, and we're going above and beyond, especially right now when we've got time. We're making those guys test back in 3 times. that occurs, and get 3 negatives in a row if that's a possibility. So we're waiting on it. So if there's they call it an inconclusive test, right? And so there's a lot of things. We're adhering to the policies that our university and Doc Stewart has, and that's how we're doing it. So if a guy's positive, he's basically out 10 days. Guys, contact trace to him, 14 days. And so that's just how we're doing it.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.